What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy Niner Gang Podcast back in the building. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it, man. This was definitely a game I did not expect, just literally based off of everything that we've seen over the past couple of weeks with all the injuries that we've seen. It has been definitely a very frustrating time for the San Francisco 49ers. But right now, Mac Jones is 4-1 as our starter, and we're winning games. And, hard part to say is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like it kind of has bold. It's been well for us with Mac at the helm. That's all I'm saying. Like it's a little rough to kind of look at it, but at the end of the day, of course, we're not going to pull in Atlanta and go over there and look at their situation where you got Michael Penix Jr. starting, but you got all that money sitting on the bench for Kirk Cousins because. The main reason that Atlanta can't get out of that contract is because number one, Kirk Cousins ain't he's not going to restructure, and number two, ain't nobody taking that contract. Nobody's eating that contract. I don't care how quarterback needy of a team you are. You're not taking that contract. I'm sorry. It's too many people. I mean, it's too much money for you to be sitting there dealing with that. I'm sorry. Like that just truthfully is it. You can't have that as a situation. And when it comes down to it, you look at it from a broad spectrum, you look at it from the outside in, it's a foolish mistake because you paid him so much money to sit on the bench. Like that was dumb. But the 49ers won't be doing that. We will be handing the ball back to Brock Purdy at some point during the season. But this injury that he's got is lingering. You know what I mean? It's actually lingering, and it's not allowing him to throw. So maybe y'all might not understand what the situation is when it comes to Brock Purdy, but he has turf toe. But basically, they showed his foot, and they're saying like, so this is my hand, obviously, but imagine this is my foot. They're saying like right here, and saying right in that area of your foot, basically like right where the toe comes to the actual, sole of your foot. That's like bothering him a lot. And it's hindering him from being able to get out there and throw, do everything he wants to do consistently. So at a bare minimum, the simplest thing you could do, to be honest with you, is to go ahead and say, you know what, if that's what's happening, if you want him to play, if you feel like he can be able to withstand it, you make sure you give him whatever painkiller you need to give him, and you run the ball a little bit more. So it makes life a little bit easier. So you lean heavier on the run than you do on the pass because it doesn't have to make him drop back, do all of these things. Because what people don't understand is certain types of injuries will hinder you from doing anything, whether it be in football, whether it be just walking around can be painful at times when it comes to turf toe and different types of injuries, on the bottom, on the sole of your feet. It can be very rough and make it really hard. Shout out to Fred Warner, though, man. Hall of Fame Fred was out there, bro. He was representing, and you saw that big old massive cast on his ankle. So definitely love to see him there to be able to rally the troops and make sure that, they know he has their full support. So that was great when they came through the tunnel from the game. He was right there on his little scooter. Congratulating everybody. When they had made big plays, you saw them cut the shots at Fred and give him love. And I think George Kittle said post-game that they had to go to a silent count because they showed Fred and the crowd erupted so loud that they couldn't even hear the play. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how we are as Niner fans. We love our players. And, we always look at them as some of the greatest people on planet Earth. And we appreciate them for bringing us that kind of entertainment and doing the things that they do and just doing something that they love. George Kittle was very happy to be back. Obviously, we all know that. So it's a little bit of a different thing. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it. This was definitely a game that I didn't anticipate. In my game picks, I actually picked us to lose. Only because of all the injuries that we had and the way that the Atlanta Falcons took down the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that gives a little cause to pause. So definitely I'm looking at it from the standpoint going, okay, I don't know how well we're going to be able to do in this game. They've got Kyle Pitts, they've got Drake London, they've got Bijan Robinson, you got Michael Penix Jr. Like, they have all their weapons, and us, we're just kind of scraping by with whatever we can. Anybody that's healthy. So injury for this game, the number one injury that I remember was Jake Brindle. They said he went down with a hamstring injury. Now, look, I do not wish injury on anyone or anybody else's team or even on my team. Matt Hennessy didn't look so bad, people, did he? He didn't look so bad. He looked okay. You know what I'm saying? So if Jake Brindle needs to sit down for several weeks, that's fine. Let's hope he sits down and never comes back in. I want him to get healthy. I want him to go elsewhere. I want him to have a great career. But Jake Brindle is just not a good center. And this goes back to the issue that we face with our offensive line, because our offensive line has been garbage for years, and it never gets addressed because Chris Forrester and Kyle Shanahan, for some reason, seem to think that everything is okay. And whenever you start winning with a ragtag bunch of guys, it gives you a little boost of confidence. But at the same time, you have to still look at it and go, we could definitely improve here. You see what I'm saying? So one other thing I'll touch on really quick, and then we'll get into the numbers and everything like that, is the fact that they have basically they said that Christian McCaffrey was pulled into the end zone by Connor Colby on his last touchdown run. Now, here's my thing about that. Christian McCaffrey was pushing with his legs. Other players were pushing. Like, it's a big pile. It does look from the replay like Connor Colby pulled him. So what? Okay, at the end of the day, you really think he's going to let his dude not score? He's trying to get him into the end zone. You know what I'm saying? And there are so many calls that are missed on a game-by-game basis. Like, if you ran back through games and looked at all of the calls that were missed, it'd be insane numbers. There's holding calls that are missed. There's PI calls that are missed. There's OPI calls that are missed. And it's on offense, defense, special teams. There are so many calls that are missed. It would drive you insane to go back and try to catch every single little detail. You know what I'm saying? Now, certain things, of course, we as fans, we malign the refs for that, because it's like, yo, be better about it. You know what I'm saying? Catch this stuff. Hey, what's going on, media? And thank you to everybody here watching this and streaming live on Twitter. Or should I say X? But it's when you see something blatant and obvious, you're like, okay, let me go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm a fan. I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be a little pissed off, because why would we miss this play? Like, this is just more than obvious. But things like that, it's kind of a bang-bang type of play. So there isn't, no pun intended, but there's not much we can really do, if that makes sense. It's really rough, and it's hard for us to be able to make this happen. So while they state that they, kind of made a mistake, it is what it is. The game is over. And even if you take away Christian McCaffrey's score, we still would win 13-10. Like, it's literally that, because we won 20-10 and we were up 13. We were up 13-10 at the moment. So either way, we still win the game. So I'm not going to stress that too much. That's not a big deal to me. But let's take a look at it from just a number standpoint, and we can talk about the game, because we had some amazing plays. We had some beautiful things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be cutting up some clips, giving out some shorts here, just some of the big plays that we had basically from that. So that's always great. But let's take a look at Michael Penix Jr., 21 of 38, 241 yards, 1 TD. He did take 2 sacks. So we finally got home. And we got home without Nick Bosa. Imagine that. Bijan Robinson, only 14 carries for 40 yards. He averaged 2.9 yards a carry. I am telling you guys right now, his longest run was 8 yards. Look, I'm telling y'all right now, man, I did not think we were going to shut him down, because our run defense necessarily isn't the best. But we exposed the Atlanta Falcons run defense, I'll tell you that. And we'll get to our numbers in just a second. They had 62 yards total as a team. That was between Bijan, Algier, and Michael Penix Jr. A couple carries for him, but not much. Because he's not really a runner. He is a pocket passer. I'll say that about Michael Penix Jr. He definitely is a true dyed-in-the-wool pocket passer. He does not do much when it comes to, running the football. You've never seen it. So you go over to their receiving. 241 yards, but the only person to catch a touchdown pass, Bijan Robinson. You know what I'm saying? And his was a nice little scamper, and he basically walked through our defense. I'm not even gonna lie, like you had a couple people there that could have stopped him, but nah, Bijan's a little too stout, a little too stocky, and a little too slick and smooth. You know what I'm saying? Getting through his block. So he did a good job on that touchdown reception. I definitely remember that. Darnell Mooney, 3 catches, 68 yards. You know what I'm saying? His long was a 38-yarder, but you know what I'm saying? The average of 22.7 yards a catch is good gravy. So, I mean, if you look at it, you take away that 38 yards, you only got 30 yards on 2 catches, but that's still 15 yards to catch. I'm not, look, 15 yards catch, 15 yards catch. That's 2 first downs. So that basically means they're trying to catch the ball, you get the first down, I'm rolling with it. So these things can happen. Kyle Pitts, 7 catches, 62 yards. You know what I'm saying? Bijan Robinson, of course, is 652 with the 8.7 and one TD. Drake London had 4 catches, 42 yards. So, we did fairly well with holding down their run, their run and pass. Michael Penix Jr. did have that fumble, and we recovered it, which was beautiful. That was Alfred Collins who recovered. Alfred Collins is coming along, people. Let's just talk about that. I was down on Alfred Collins early in the season because I hadn't seen him. He wasn't playing. He wouldn't sign his contract, obviously, because of all of the issues with the second-round picks and guaranteed money and so on and so forth. But Alfred Collins has become more than just a big body. The man has become a run stuffer, and I'm loving every second of it. This is great. You know what I'm saying? Collins has just shown up and shown out, and he's done some amazing things, and I love every second of it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard because I would love to get CJ West a little bit of burn in there, but I mean, hey, Kevin Givens was back in this game. He played well. So when you take a look at it, you look at the defense for the Falcons. Jesse Bates, J.D. Bertrand led the team with 10 tackles each. They had a sack. Zach Harrison had one, but that was it. Nobody else sacked Mac Jones at all. A couple TFLs. Zach Harrison had 2. Taquan Graham had 1. Sam Roberts had 1. Leonard Floyd had 1. Brandon Dorless had another. And David Onyemata, he had 1. So that was 7 TFLs. So that was 7 times they were in our backfield, you know what I'm saying, getting after it. So shout out to them on that one. Passing defense, they only had 2. Both of those came from Caden Ellis and Mike Hughes. Couple QB hits here and there, but, nothing too crazy. It didn't rock Mac Jones to a point where he couldn't play football or anything. So it's a little bit different. But then you come over, you take a look at it, of course. There was an interception thrown by Mac Jones, but it was not his fault. That ball bounced right off JJ's hands and right into the hands of the defender. JJ's got to catch that, period, point blank. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Juwan Jennings has to catch that ball. That interception is not on Mac Jones. That's a tip drill, and that's off of JJ's hands. And there's nothing that, he has to take the stat, but it's not his fault. And I know y'all know what I mean when, saying that. It makes sense. So basically, it would definitely be a different type of situation when it comes down to it. So Atlanta, they had a couple field goals. They only had 1 extra point, so they had that 1 field goal from Barker Romo. He made the extra point from the touchdown that they threw. Bradley Pinion, former 49er, had to punt 3 times for 152 yards. He averaged 50 yards punt. That's actually not bad. You know what I'm saying? Bradley Pinion's still out there doing it, man. Shout out to him. But let's flip over to the other side of the ball and talk about the San Francisco 49ers and their numbers. So we threw the ball 26 times. We ran the ball 39 times. And see, this is where you start to see the difference when it comes to us, because when we run more than we pass, we typically win. This was a coming out game for Christian McCaffrey. The man hadn't gotten over 100 yards rushing all year. He hadn't even gotten into the end zone running the ball all year. He had 2 tutties today. So let's talk about Mac Jones, the Mac daddy of them all. 17 carries, 17 throws, 17 to 26, 152 yards, and only 1 interception. Now, I know you look at those numbers and you're like, man, that's actually bad. That's a bad stat. But he wouldn't have had the interception, obviously, if JJ wouldn't have dropped the ball. Fumbled that pass. But then at the same time, you know what I'm saying, he was sacked once. But this is the thing. Like I said, we went heavy on the run. We did. We went real heavy on the run. And I'm going to say, you take a look at the numbers. Christian McCaffrey, 24 carries for 129 yards. His longest run was 15 yards. So every bit of that 5.4 yards is a true number. The 2 TDs, beautiful. Obviously, like I said at the beginning, they were talking about the whole situation with Connor Colby, kind of pulling him into the end zone. I don't really care. Every team will take any win that they can get in any way, shape, or form. So for me personally, you know what I'm saying? It was a great game. 5.4 yards a carry. I'm not mad at that. Brian Robinson Jr., 9 carries, 36 yards. He averaged 4 yards a carry. His longest was 10. So if you take that out of there, that's just 26 yards on 8 carries. That's only 3 yards a carry. But once again, with Brian Robinson Jr., here's my thing with him. I like that they brought him, but they don't utilize him. And honestly, I don't think he fits our scheme very well. I think he's more of an old school north-south type runner. He doesn't really fit the whole zone scheme and all that stuff. I just think that it's better for him to be elsewhere. And he will be next year. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a free agent, so you got to, you can't get mad at that. You got to let that go for what it is. But at the end of the day, it was definitely a beautiful game from Christian McCaffrey, man. That dude did everything. And yes, unfortunately, his touches are way up and they're way more than we anticipated. But that's because we don't have everyone back. So we just got George back. He had a pretty cool game. He didn't do a lot, but he did all right. The nice thing was that we came in with the mindset to run the ball against the Atlanta Falcons, and we executed that. And I can tell you that just based off of Mac Jones' numbers, of course. 26 times we threw, 39 times we ran, and then he only had 152 yards passing. Yeah, that tells you we weren't focusing on the passes game. We wanted to run the ball. And that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? You take what you get with a grain of salt and you call it a day. But like I said in the beginning, when we run more than we pass, we typically win. For the most part, we usually do. So then you come over, you take a look at the passing. You've got Christian McCaffrey, 7 catches, 72 yards. Juwan Jennings, 4 catches, 31 yards. Sky Moore had 1 for 15. And this is the first game we have not seen Kendrick Bourne over 100 yards. Man only had 2 catches for 14 yards. And that's the thing. Like when we leaned on Mac and made him throw the ball, he was finding KB wherever you could think of. And KB was over 100 yards the past couple of weeks. So to fantasy owners, I am definitely very sorry that we went heavy on the run. The only people on fantasy right now that don't like anything is Christian McCaffrey owners, because they're going to love him. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of CMC and fantasy, man, just a little side note. CMC is priceless when he talks about fantasy and fantasy owners. Papa J, what's going on, big dog? There you go. He says it right there. There was a pure clinic on Smash Mouth football. The running game was dominant, and it was incredible to see CMC completely back in vintage form. He won this game in the trenches. Kudos to Eddie P. Oh, we're going to get to Pistolero Panero. We're going to get to him. Yes, sir, Papa J. We will talk about him. But here's the thing. So when it comes down to it, and you look at what Christian McCaffrey did, he went out there and he balled in every which way. And then top it all off, man, the defense came through. I am very happy that our defense came through. Like I said, we had that, we had that interception from, no, we didn't have an interception. We just had that fumble recovery from Alfred Collins. And then when you come over, you take a look at the defensive numbers. Who led us out there? Tatum Bethune. He went down for a little bit, so we had to see Curtis Robinson. And I was a little confused because I'm like, please don't let Bethune be hurt now. Dang, man, we already lost one mic. We don't need to lose another one. You know what I'm saying? All we need is one mic. Shout out Nas. But at the end of the day, when you take a look at it, it's very simple. Tatum Bethune was definitely there with us. He came out. He had 10 tackles. He had 1 TFL. Then when he wound up doing what he needed to do, you got Malik Mustafa coming in with 6, Jair Brown with 5, Darrell Luter Jr. with 5, Bryce Huff with 5. He had the sack and the tackle for a loss. D. Winters got in there with a TFL. Sammy O got a TFL. You know what I'm saying? And he had that other sack. Then you look at the passing defense. We had a couple of them, one from Demo and the other from Chase Lucas. Shout out to Chase Lucas, man. He's been out there silently making plays. doing little small things. He played the slot for us so we could keep Demo on the outside and have Darrell Jr. on the other side because Renardo Green wasn't available for this game. So he did a pretty good job, man. I'm not mad at our defense. We did everything that we could. And really quick, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Malik Turner. Shout out to Malik Turner on special teams. He is doing his thing. Malik Turner obviously is a wide receiver, but on special teams, he's starting to look. This game, he looked like the special teams gunner because he was down there every chance he could get, making plays, hits. You know what I'm saying? Malik Turner had 3 tackles. On special teams, you have 3 tackles. That's a pretty good game. That means that you actually played, you did something, you meant something, you mattered. So that was fantastic, man. We got some good push from the defensive line. It looks like these young dudes are coming along and getting better and getting stronger, moving around, doing the things they need to do. Shout out to Michael Williams for always. Every time I see Michael, if he's not getting to the quarterback, he's trying to put his hand in their vision. He's trying to knock the ball down. I love that about him. He's doing very well with that. So that's always a great thing. And then when it comes down to it, you know what I'm saying, everybody else did a really fantastic job. You know, we gave up over 200 yards passing, but I mean, hey, we held down Bijan Robinson. Our run defense did its thing. I'm not mad at that, y'all. I'm sorry. I am not mad at that in any way, shape, or form. Then you come over, you take a look at it. Sky Moore, 2 kick returns, 53 yards. That wasn't too bad. I'll take 26 yards of return. You can't be mad at me on that. You can't be mad at Sky Moore for that. The punt returns is 1 for 8, but it wasn't really much. I mean, it's a punt return, you know, and you just take what you can get. Now, back to Big Homie, man. Hey, held us down, did what he needed to do. Pistolero Pinero, that's what I call him, baby. He was ready with the guns packing, and he was scrapping. He was doing his thing, bro. 2 of 2 for his field goals, 2 of 2 on his extra points. That man accounted for 8 points by himself, and we love it. Now, of course, when we're in the red zone, we want to score. And it can be a little frustrating because we do get into the red zone and we do, unfortunately, sometimes not get in there. And we're trying to work on that and get better at it, man. We definitely are, because it's rough when you get to that red zone and then you get stopped. So it's kind of hard to be able to do so. One thing that I will tell you is Thomas Morstead had 3 punts for 143 yards. So he averaged about 47 yards a punt. You know, a couple touchbacks, things of that nature. But in this game, this is what I saw. Us get back to 49er football. We actually ran the ball the way we were supposed to. We did exactly what we should in this game, and we made them look bad. And I'm telling you, the run defense for the Falcons is hurting strictly based on the fact that as a group, we ran on them for 174 yards. And CMC individually had 129 yards. That man had over 200 yards from scrimmage and 2 TDs. So fantasy owners are going to love it. And see, that sidebar about CMC, I got sidetracked because I go back into the game. But CMC will tell you straight up, F your damn fantasy squad. He will tell you that. CMC does not care. He don't care about your fantasy squad. He don't care that you didn't get all the points that you needed and all that other stuff. CMC just cares about winning. So if we go out there and win the game and CMC had 2 carries and 1 yard, he could care less. Did we win? Yes. Fantasy owners, no one cares. Like, he really is like that. But that's just a beautiful thing. So quarter by quarter, neither one of us scored in the first quarter at all. Neither Atlanta or the 49ers. Then after that, we scored in every single quarter, and we shut them out in the fourth. And that's how you do it. You got to win games. Sometimes they're gritty, they're rough. But when you look at us, you look at what we do, you look at how we play, it's always hard because we want to get there. You want to win. You want to be dominant. You want to show the league that you are a force to be reckoned with. But sometimes you got to go out there and get those gritty ones and do the hard work and do the long game where it's, hey, man, we're going to go out here, we're going to grind it out, but we're going to get this W. It ain't going to be pretty, but damn it, as long as we come out with a win, I don't care how we get it. So then when you come in and you take a look at the team stats and take a look at everything, just in general, when it comes to time of possession, we had the ball 32 minutes. They had it 27. So that's 5 more minutes that we had it, you know, and obviously why? Because we were running the ball very well. You know, the total yardage was 324 for us, 292 for them. We didn't go for it on fourth down. They tried twice and failed twice. That's a great thing. That means our defense is holding up, and that is beautiful. I love it. We ran 6 more plays than they did when it comes down to that. But when you take a look at it, penalties, 6 penalties, 43 yards for the Falcons, 3 for 25 for the 49ers. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at that. We didn't have any turnovers. Of course, outside the interception that was thrown. But outside of that, we didn't have any other turnovers. So it was definitely a good thing. This was a beautiful game. What's going on, TD? It's always that, man. His record when he runs more than he passes, it's insane. I can't remember what the actual record is. If y'all find it, throw it in the chat. But whenever we run more than we pass, we typically win, and it's a really, really, really good record. As a matter of fact, let me see. Record more than, I think it's like 30 times. I think it's that. I think it's like more than 30 times a game. He's crazy with it. So they're not really showing anything. I'm not finding it, but it probably would be something different. But I know it's a really good record at the end of the day. If y'all find it, let me know. But I know his record is like heavily. I think it's like 900, 0.900. He's really good. Whenever we run more than we pass, it's always like that. It's a beautiful thing. But this game, basically, when you look at it and take a look at it and see who the superstars were, you got to give credit to the defensive line. They looked great. It was a wonderful thing to see them out there, man, doing their thing. A little sad because I didn't get to see no Nick Martin. I was really banking on seeing this dude on the field trying to make some plays. He is definitely a short tackler, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Nick Martin, and I need to figure that out. Like, I don't know why he hasn't gotten on the field and why they're holding him back. You always want to keep throwing Curtis Robinson out there and all these other, like, I don't know. I don't get it. He's a really good talent. I saw what he did in preseason. I thought he looked pretty good. So I'd love to see more of him when it comes down to it. But when you're talking about offense, of course, the offensive MVP of this game is Christian McCaffrey. He ran wild all over this defense. Did everything that you would expect him to do and want him to do. He ran wild. He caught passes. I mean, over 200 yards from scrimmage and 2 TDs. What more can you ask for from your running back? Now, of course, when Christian is at full health, he is a top 5 running back in the league. Right now, I cannot give Christian number 1 because there's someone out there, honestly, right now that is numero uno and he's better than him. And you know what I'm saying, don't kill me for this, Niner fans, but it's Jonathan Taylor. At the end of the day, bro, Jonathan Taylor is amazing. That guy has been balling all year long. He ain't been having to do the scrimmage game like CMC, and it's no disrespect to CMC. I mean, that's just who he is. He is a true dual threat. Jonathan Taylor is a dual threat guy as well. But the thing is that right now Taylor is just like that Indy offense is just going crazy. It is. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones has had a resurgence. He's definitely happy that he got out of all the situations he was in to get to Indy and to take that job from Anthony Richardson. And, you know, he's now relegated to the bench and relegated to backup duty. But, I mean, it is what it is. When you go out there and you let a dude take your job, you let him take your job. It is what it is. It's like being out in the streets, man, you know, and you out there, you know, don't let another dude take your girl. You're going to get clowned left and right, man. You know, your boys ain't going to let you live up and down. You know, somebody walk up, snatch your girl from you right up from under you. It is what it is. But, yeah, Connor, my boy TD said Connor Colby tractor pull. But in this game, once again, offensively, the MVP was CMC. He did everything he could. And he basically is the reason why we won the game outside of Pistolero Pinero. Special teams, the game ball would go to Pistolero Pinero. That's just what it is. Eddie P, man, that is the dude. And I'm so happy that this dude is here, that he's kicking these balls through the uprights, making sure that we don't lose games, and giving us a chance to win as soon as we get close enough to his range. And I appreciate that, man. We really love Eddie P here. On defense, you know what I'm saying? You just have to kind of look at a little bit of everybody. You got to look at a little Tatum Bethune. You got to look at Chase Lucas when he made that play. You got to love what Bryce Huff has been doing, even with no Nick Bosa being around. You know what I mean? And I think it's a situation with Bryce Huff of, once again, they didn't utilize him the way that he was best used. They had him being a stand-up linebacker, and that's not what he does. He isn't a true edge rusher, and this is showing you that. And what I can tell you is typically whenever somebody comes here and they ball out as the edge rusher, we usually let them move on because what happens, they're going to wind up getting paid more elsewhere. But hey, you got to give credit to solid Chris Cassera. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes, they get people money. I ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? They do. They get people paid. And no, so here's the thing about Scatterboo. I like Scatterboo, but Scatterboo to me, honestly, Scatterboo's comp is Mike Allstott. That's how I look at him. Short, stocky, big, big dude. You know what I'm saying? And he just goes out there, him and Jackson Dart are like, those are the bros. Like, those are true bros. That is a real bromance. You know what I'm saying? Out there, you can see it. If you don't watch Riot Comedy, you definitely have to. You got to see some of the football ones they've done with Scatterboo and Jackson Dart. It is priceless. I'm talking full on hilarious. You got to be catching these days, man. And over on YouTube, Brindle says, Papa J, he said Brindle plays like he actually had a fifth Hennessy. So actually, that's another dude. Shout out Matt Hennessy on the offensive line, man. He came in, filled in for Brindle. He looked great. He did. He looked really good. Our run game was more solid with him. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But I like Scatterboo. But at the end of the day, to me, if you're talking about, a true overall, dyed in the wool, dual threat running back, I have to say Jonathan Taylor right now is the best. And right behind him would be CMC. You know what I mean? These guys are out there doing their things. They're always continuously contributing, no matter whether it's a run or the pass. Of course, Jonathan Taylor more in the run because they don't really use him as a receiver, but he can't be. And I'm telling you right now, you throw the ball to Jonathan Taylor, that man can boogie. He can do some things. He doesn't run routes like Christian because Christian is a true route runner. Like if Christian wanted to be a wide receiver, he could. That's just how skilled he is in this. So it's a little bit different. But I do like what Scatterboo is doing, you know what I'm saying? But right now, if I'm talking about the top of the tops, Scatterboo would be in the top 5. He would, but I wouldn't put him above Christian and Jonathan. I don't think so. You like what he's doing, but I mean, Christian is a true vet. He's been doing everything he's been doing for years. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. And everybody watching me on X, make sure y'all jump over, make sure y'all go to my profile, hit that link in my profile. Y'all can come over to YouTube. I definitely would appreciate any of the subs there. I'm just 2 away from getting 600. I just need 2 more people to get me to 600 subs, man. When I do that, there'll be a celebration. Then I can jump over and, head toward that 700 mark. What's going on, Dave? Appreciate you, bro, stopping in. So Blessed allows me to see your comments. I want to hear what you guys had to say. I want to see that as well. So basically, it's just a situation where on defense, Tatum Bethune looked really good. Of course, like I said, you got Chase Lucas making that play, Bryce Huff with the sack. You got Alfred Collins with the fumble recovery. Shout out to the whole defense just in general. Shout out to All-Pro Hall of Fame Fred for being there, giving us just that extra juice, that energy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you did. Bro, I woke up this morning, man, showered and just kind of went right in, bro. But we'll still get something going, B-Dubs. We still got something going. I completely neglected that tell you. I am so sorry, bro. Like, I woke up this morning, was like super duper. Like, let me get this going because I do got some other stuff I got to do this morning as well. But then when it comes to special teams, like I said, game ball is going to go to Pistolero Pinero. That dude did everything that you would want him to do. He was just a fantastic guy, and I loved every second of it. When you look at this game as a whole, once again, this is real, true 49er football. We ran the ball. We won the game. That's how you do it. It's consistent. When you run that ball 30 or more times, you have a higher probability of winning with Kyle Shanahan. And that run game finally came alive because it's been non-existent all year. We all know that. If you're a true 49er fan, you've been watching these games, we've been sad with our run game. It's been ugly. But I'm going to say this, and once again, I am not wishing injury on anyone. I don't want anyone hurt. I would love for all of us to be fully healthy. Here's the thing. If Matt Hennessy is better for us at center than Jake Brendel, I want Matt Hennessy. It's that simple. And he looked a lot better than Jake Brendel last night when we were running the ball. And that's the thing. I think with our offensive line, we have to kind of, once again, because it gets neglected a lot and they pay more attention to the defensive line, you know what I'm saying? We have to look at it and try our best to get in where we fit in when it comes to this run game. But we got to keep putting a group together here and there to be able to see what we can actually do, because these offensive linemen are just a bunch of different dudes, and you just got to hope and pray that they look good. Now, of course, Connor Colby standing next to the big silverback, that's going to help you. It helped Aaron Banks. It helped Lakin Tomlinson. You know what I'm saying? Even though Lakin didn't really necessarily need that boost from Trent. He was already a pretty good left guard before Trent got here anyway, so I'm not mad at that. But I'm just saying, standing next to the silverback can be a big help. That's all I'm going to say. But overall, this was a fantastic game. I loved every second of it. We came out, we got the dub, 20-10. I don't care what the media is saying about how Connor Colby pulled CMC into the end zone. There's a lot of stuff that happens in the NFL on a daily basis where you can look at it and go, that wasn't right, that wasn't right. Like I said, you can't go back and find every little mistake, because if you do, you'd be combing through stuff. Game outcomes would be completely different. You'd be out here just turning the NFL upside down. Mistakes are going to be made in refereeing, but it's the blatant, obvious mistakes that we as fans get pissed off about. Certain things, when you look back at it, somebody's looking back on something in hindsight, it's already done. Game's over. You can't change it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it like this. In wrestling, how many times do we see people's shoulders up when they're getting counted 1, 2, 3? How many times do we know, obviously, that somebody is distracting them, you know what I'm saying, and hitting them with stuff and doing all that? Come on now. Like, it's obvious, but this is just a part. It's the way things go. And it's been that way, and it's not going to change. What's going on, Rick Diaz? Oh, yeah, I appreciate the hat, man. Yeah, this is one of those, I picked this joint up in Lids. It was a pretty cool hat, and I saw it. I was like, man, I got to grab that. I got so many Niner hats. It's ridiculous. I got a couple of them that I don't necessarily always wear because I used them when I worked out, so I sweated through them so they look ridiculous. And I don't do all the hat cleaner stuff, bro. It's just kind of was what it was. I think this is a start of a beautiful thing, because I believe probably in the next couple of weeks we're going to see Brandon Ayuk's practice window open, and you're probably going to see a wide receiver get cut, whether it be MVS or I don't think we're going to cut Sky Moore because we use him for returns, but I think it probably will let Marquez Valdez-Scantling go once BA is up running and he actually is really ready to play. So I think we'll probably see him in a couple weeks. I think what's up, CJ? I ain't seen you in a minute, brother. I hope all is well. Hope you are blessed and highly favored, my guy. And to all my people watching on X, I hope you are blessed and highly favored as well. So I think, honestly, when it comes to this game in general, period, point blank, we went out there, we played 49er football, smash mouth football, run the ball down your throat, make you like it, and get the dub. And that's all you can ask for as a 49er fan. You just want to see the winning keep going. We're still atop of our division. You know what I'm saying? We are 5-2. And I'm going to take a look right now at the divisional standings because it's a little bit different. So let's take a look and see what we look like here. I'm just letting this thing load real quick, and we'll look at the actual standings just for the moment, because we still got a couple of games to go for Monday Night Football tonight. We still got 2 games going. And then I'll come back tomorrow with another, with the NFL, just recap of all the games. So right now, as it stands, without the Monday night games being played, when you look at us, we are 5-2. So are the Rams. The Bucs are at 5-1. So the Bucs technically right now are the best team in the NFC. So if you're talking about playoff seeding in this moment, technically speaking, Um, the Bucks would be number one because they're 5-1. They haven't played yet. I believe they play tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're playing Monday Night Football. I don't know. But basically, the Bucks will be number one. Of course, you'll have us as we would be the 2 seed. Yep, Bucks would be one, and we would be the 2 seed because we have a better conference record, and we, as far as like us being top of the NFC West, we have a better divisional record because we're 3-0 in the division right now. We haven't lost anything, and right now, of course, the Rams and the Seahawks are still on us. They 4-2, 5-2, like they come in. And Seahawks actually Seahawks do play tonight, and I definitely know they do because I'm in my fantasy and I'm praying to God that Jackson Smith and Jigba does not go off because if he does, he's going to ruin my dub. I could get the dub, but JSN is going to murder me. I already know because he's one of the top receivers in the league. That's just the truth of it. I'm sorry. JSN is a monster. So when you take a look at it, yeah, we'd be the 2 seed right now. And who's mad at that? I'm not. I'll take 2 seed. You know what I'm saying? For right now in the moment. But when you take a look at it, once again, 5-2 for the Eagles. They're tops of their division. Green Bay Packers took that dub over the Cardinals, so they're 4-1. Like I said, the Bucks are 5-1. Then you slide over to the AFC. The Patriots are 5-2, leading the division, and that's crazy because we always saw this as Buffalo's division. As long as Josh Allen was the quarterback, we never thought that was going to change. But the Patriots look good. Mike Vrabel over there doing big things. Pittsburgh Steelers 4-2. Everybody else is right there. Of course, they only 4-2 because they took that L. This was what they call the Unk Bowl when you had Joe Flacco versus Aaron Rodgers. it was just funny, man. It was priceless. You know what I'm saying? And I think Cleveland just got themselves another win. They are 2-5, but we're talking about the top of the top. So the best team in the league right now currently is the Indianapolis Colts at 6-1. And then Denver Broncos. The Broncos are leading the AFC West at 5-2. The Denver Broncos, not the Kansas City Chiefs, are atop the AFC West. Now, the Chiefs went in there and just beat the brakes off of the Raiders. I don't know whatever is going to happen to the Raiders. It is one thing when you lose. Hey, what's going on, man? What I said, the 49ers are a top 10 team, and don't be biased. If not, where would you rank them? I would say probably the 49ers will be in a 5 to 10 range. And I'm leaning more toward 10. If you want me to be honest, Jamal, I would say I'm leaning more toward 10. I'd give them at least top 10. At a minimum 10. I'll say that. Probably at least 10. I'll give them that. Because we do got a lot of injuries still. We do got some things that we got to work on. We got a couple people come back. So, once we get to full health and we have, a Ricky and a BA and a JJ and a KB, and we have all our guys on the field, that could probably boost us up. But I am a realistic person, Jamal. I am not a homer like that. And I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? But I would say probably at least 10 at a bare minimum. We are not anything less than that. Because there are a bunch of teams over here just that are complete failures. The New York Jets are a disaster. That is just a dumpster fire. And the sad part is with the Jets, it is the same thing every single year. Your offense cannot be consistent. We cannot. The offense can't be consistent at all. And it's sad. It truthfully is sad, man. I don't know what the problem is with the Jets, but their offense is never consistent. It's always been that way. So I'm going to give y'all just a little score recap, and then I'll get up out of here. Like I said, I got some things I got to do. And yes, tonight, Monday Night Football, we got the Bucks and the Lions and the Texans and the Seahawks. So here's my thing for the Texans and Seahawks. For my fantasy life, I need Nico Collins and Jackson Smith and Jigba to be very pedestrian today. I need them to be basic. Now, that is a stretch because both of these are amazing receivers, and both of them are the top guys on their respective teams. So I don't think that's going to happen. I'm guaranteeing I take an L because I'm pretty sure one of them going to go off and screw me over. But it is what it is. You take an L in fantasy, you keep on moving with life. But, yes, just a recap for the games. So last Thursday, Unk Bowl. Unk Flacco, you know what I'm saying? He got dub on that one. He got him 33-31. Then you come in, you look at Sunday, the Rams beat the brakes off of the Jags, 35-7. Good Lord, they didn't let the Jags score until the last quarter. That is insanity. Then you come in, you look at the Bears. The Bears are 4-2. I told y'all when Ben Johnson got there, things was gonna change. And what did Ben Johnson do? What I've been begging Kyle Shanahan to do all this time is to get some offensive linemen. He fixed the O line, and as you see, over time they're gelling, they're looking better. They 4-2. Who expected the Bears to be 4-2? Not many people. You know what I'm saying? So they look good. They won 26-14 over the Saints. Then you come in, the Browns beat the brakes off of the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a sad team. They truthfully are. It's just a sad team, man. It just, you never know what you're gonna get with them. You just don't. And I'm sorry, Tua Tagovailoa ain't it. That's not the quarterback that's gonna take you into the future. I'm telling you right now, if you get that man another contract, Miami, you guys are fools. You need to go ahead and move on and get yourself another quarterback. You should have never given him that money in the first place because he never did nothing for you. But that's besides the point. So yeah, they won 31-6. The Dolphins only scored in the second quarter. They didn't score any other quarter. You know what I'm saying? The Browns looked all right. Dylan Gabriel was literally nothing. But the reason that the Browns won is because they did exactly what I said. I feel like somebody heard me when I was talking about this, but the Browns literally did exactly what I asked them. They gave Quinshon Judkins the dang ball. Dylan Gabriel had 116 yards in this game. He was 13 of 18. Quinshon Judkins, on the other hand, was balling 25 carries, 84 yards, and 3 TDs. What else do you want from your running back? I don't need you to break that 100-yard barrier. I truthfully don't. If you get in the end zone 3 times, you could have had 3 yards for 3 touchdowns. That don't matter to me. The TDs are what matter. So they did what I actually said. 25 carries. He only threw the ball 18 times, and look at what happens. A running back is a rookie quarterback's best friend. Simply put. Patriots and the Titans. The Patriots came in and won. Of course, 31-13. Mike Vrabel beating his old team. Titans scored in the first half, and in the second half, that offense disappeared because the Patriots defense showed up. The Patriots didn't score in the fourth quarter either, but it is what it is. As I stated earlier, Raiders got the break speed off of them by the Kansas City Chiefs, 31-0, and the Chiefs scored all 8 points in the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, they just said, "Man, it don't matter. We don't need to do it again." It was easy. 31-10. You can't be mad at that. And then you come around and take a look at it. Philadelphia Eagles, 28-22, very close game with the Vikings. Only a 6-point difference. You know what I'm saying? 1 touchdown can make the difference, and an extra point can definitely do so. And then the Panthers versus the Jets. This was a very low-scoring game, and this is why I say it's not the Jets' defense, it's their offense. 13-6. 13-6. Now, I'm going to do this really quick because I usually don't, but I'm going to do this really quick because I have to take a look at the Jets' offense. It is insane. So they threw the ball. Okay, so Tyrod Taylor, 10-22, 126 yards. Justin Fields, 6-12, 46 yards. They had 139 yards passing between 2 quarterbacks. Pathetic. And that tells me that your offensive line is hot garbage. Breece Hall, 11 carries, 38 yards. As a team, 81 yards rushing. These numbers are horrid. I'm sorry. Like there are times where you got to look at the team and just go, this team's bad. They're just bad. They just don't look good, man. But it is what it is, man. Jets keep on losing. They are the only winless team in the league at 0-7. I hope they ain't trying to, do the same thing that the Lions did, some years back ago. They'd be the first 0-17 team. That's how bad it would be. 35 people here, man, on X. I appreciate y'all. Definitely remember, please jump over, go to my profile, hit the link in my bio. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Couple people away from that 600 mark, man. And once I get there, that'll be definitely a big celebration for me. And once I get to 6, I'm trying to push it to 7. And so on and so forth. But definitely that's a great thing, man. Everybody tuning in on X. I appreciate all of y'all hanging out with your boy. But next up on the docket, we had the Giants versus the Broncos. Now that, if you didn't get a chance to watch it and you do have NFL Plus, go back and watch that game. That was a barn burner. The Broncos pulled off one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history. They scored nothing through the first 3 quarters and 33 in the fourth to get the W. Insanity. Straight insanity. Like, you look at it like, what? And then you got the Colts versus the Chargers. Colts get the dub 38-24. And then you come down and look at the Commanders versus the Cowboys. Now, I took the Commanders with my game picks because I thought they would win, but the Cowboys came out and beat the brakes off of them. They beat them by 22 points. It was 44-24. CeeDee Lamb coming back with George Pickens on the field. Hey, man, Dak Prescott, 21-32, 164 yards and 3 TDs. Javonte Williams, 19 carries, 116 yards and a touchdown. Look, man, I'm just saying that, look, Cowboys did their thing. I can't be mad at the Cowboys for that. Then you take a look at it. You got the Packers versus the Cardinals. Packers won 27-23. The Cardinals continue to take a nosedive. I believe they have lost 5 games straight, if I'm not mistaken. Falcons and 49ers. 49ers win 20-10. The people on the bye this week were the Bills and the Ravens. And the Ravens definitely need that bye because they need to get Lamar Jackson back on the field. Because without Lamar, they are hot garbage. Cooper Rush ain't doing nothing. He helps no one. He is a failure. But once again, like I said, I think the Cardinals have just taken an unfortunate nosedive, man. And it's sad to see because the Cardinals do have some very formidable players that are really good that would be better elsewhere. Budda Baker is one of the best safeties in the league. You got to love it. Calais Campbell, super unk. You know what I'm saying? That's what I call it because this dude is old as all get out and still getting after the quarterback. And he gets home too. You're not stopping Calais easily. So, yes, the Cardinals have taken a nosedive ever since they faced the 49ers. We beat them 16-15. The next game, they lost 23-20. They lose another one to the Titans, 22-21. The Colts, 31. They're not getting blown out, people. These are small games. They lost to us by 1 point. They lost to the Seahawks by 3. They lost to the Titans by 1 point. They lost to the Colts by 4. They lost to the Packers by 4. They are in these games. They just can't seem to finish the job. And that is very unfortunate. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. What's going on? Matt Moses came hanging out with your boy, CJ Gray. I mean, I don't see Kyle changing. I see Kyle being the same Kyle. CJ, I think he's doing the same things. But he's saying it's like the 07 season where hard-ass Tom lightened up and the Giants end up going on an unexpected run. I mean, it's not bad. You know what I mean? He said Kyle was pumping the young guys up. He never does that. I didn't see that on the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? But that's good. If he did do that, great. That's beautiful because you don't see Kyle pump up the young guys. You never see him do that. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I was envious of that Jim Harbaugh did that Kyle doesn't is, you know what I'm saying, the love he shows his quarterback. The pat on the shoulders and the 2 chest bumps and everything. Like when you give your players confidence like that, they love you for it because they need that. They want to know that you believe in them. They want to know that when they make a mistake, you're not just going to yank them off the field and run away from them. You're going to say, "Hey, man, this is great." Okay, he did it in the halftime interview. Yeah. That part I did see. That's true, and that's great. But the thing is you ain't got no choice but to pump these young dudes up because they all you got. They're all you got. You know what I'm saying? You got a few wily vets in there, but for the most part, you got to do what you got to do. Now, here's the hypothetical, people. We're 5-2. I don't think we get a break until close to Christmas. Like our bye week is late in the year. But think about it like this. Right now, everyone, Justin Fields is hot garbage. You are right on that, Matt Moses. Right now, when you take a look at it, everyone, if by some freaking nature chance we could make it to the NFC Championship, we could hope and pray that Fred might be back by then. He's a little younger. That injury may heal a little faster than we anticipate. And we all know Fred, he's going to work as hard as he possibly can. Yeah, like week 14. That's an insanely late. I mean, it's cool because then we get that little bye week. We get that time to be able to relax and come back and do whatever we need to do. But I mean that it's a very, very late one. Now, hypothetically speaking, we could be a team that plays the Super Bowl in their home stadium. It is Levi's this year, people. We have the Super Bowl. So think about it like that. Because Kyle Shanahan, for everything that I stated about him, when I talk about what he does in the playoffs, there's one thing Kyle Shanahan never falls short of: the NFC Championship game. He will get there at a bare minimum. Whenever we have gotten into the playoffs with Kyle Shanahan, we have never been bounced out outside of the NFC Championship game. I'll give him that much credit. So if by some freaking nature chance we can sneak into the playoffs, could you imagine a Super Bowl at Leave Up? I'm going to tell you right now, whoever the other team is in the AFC, good luck finding tickets. You won't. You will not. And this is just me being honest with you. Go back a couple years. What happened with the Rams? They won the Super Bowl 2020, right? COVID year, all that. You know what I'm saying? They did their thing. Here's the problem. Nobody was in the streets because the Rams don't have fans. 9 times out of 10, everybody takes over other people's stadiums. And the Rams fans, y'all really don't exist. I'm sorry. I don't really see much of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mac finally started dirting the ball. I'm going to give him a ton of credit on it because initially he was holding it and kept trying to look for someone, and he was taking sacks. So he just started doing that these past 2 games, which I do appreciate because that was number 10, the old number 10. That was his issue where he would throw the ball away, just be stupid, throw an interception, or he sit there and take a sack like a dummy and then get out, after the game and be in post-game press conference. That's tough. Yeah, just shut up. But it's okay. He's an alpha ruining somebody else's team, so ain't bothering me none. But at the end of the day, if the San Francisco 49ers win the Super Bowl, you'd have a line from the Bay to LA. The parade would be insane. I'm telling you right now, the Golden Gate Bridge, I pray that it had the capacity to hold all the people that's going to be there. Because in the Bay Area, if you let the Niners win, and we're the only team in the Bay Area, because Oakland left, they went to Vegas, remember that. Now, I'm not saying that if Oakland won a Super Bowl, it wouldn't be the same thing in the Bay, but the thing is we're the only team there, and we would just be crazy. I'd fly out too. But I'd meet so many Niner fans that I know through the internet because I'd definitely be there. I'd go. I couldn't tell me nothing. I want to be at that parade. I need to be at that parade. Like, I'd need it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it would just, at that point, it'd be just me because I'd need to be able to get out there and turn up, you know what I'm saying? And get out there, I'm telling you, man, like the energy around that would be insane. 49ers playing a Super Bowl in their own home and they win. Kyle Shanahan finally gets the monkey off his back. Since he's only lost Super Bowls, these things would be amazing. So, yeah, a lot of people waited a lifetime, man. I've only seen 4. We won our first one the year I was born, and then after that, I saw all the other Super Bowl wins. I have to be honest with you and say my real celebration was that 94 Super Bowl. The other Super Bowl wins, I was little, so I was just kind of happy. But as an adult, you know what I'm saying, I haven't seen us win a Super Bowl. I've only seen us take L's. But, as a high school kid, I saw that. 94, yep, I was happy. I was like, yeah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? We won. We did it. We took it. Like, that was the time where I could actually celebrate. But this is hypothetical. But if we keep doing what we're doing, we're good. Mac Jones is 4-1. I appreciate him for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the interception because that wasn't his fault. We did what we were supposed to do. We ran the ball before we passed the ball. That's how we win our games. That's what we always do. And at the end of the day, I will say this. Oh, you've seen 3 of them. Okay. Yeah, you've seen a couple of them. At the end of the day, I'll say this. Let's take a look at our next opponent. I got to think of who we play next. Because I know I'll be going to the Cardinals game. We play the Cardinals in a couple weeks. But we're not playing them right now. So let me take a look really quick and see who our next opponent would be. All right, so next week we got to play the Texans. And we are an early morning game. That is a 10 a.m. game. So we got to play the Texans. The Joe Drive got me. Yeah, it got everybody. We were all happy. So we got to play the Texans, and then we got to play the Giants. Then we got to play the Rams. Then we go and play the Cardinals. So we got, let's see, we got a couple games that are winnable. You know what I'm saying? I think versus the Rams, that'll be a good thing. We'll be at SoFi for that one. I'd love to go to that game. I'd love to go to that game. But my issue with that is it's going to be rough. But thank y'all for tuning in, hanging out with your boy. Everybody stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed. And I'm out this joint.